Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use Azure Container Apps to run any Python script I want within my Azure environment and trigger them and monitor them from Orchestra. To get started, we need to create a service principal that can access our container app jobs. So we go to integrations, we click new connection, and then we search for Azure Container Apps. We click Azure Container Apps, and we can see here we have a lot of instructions. I'm going to skip ahead to one I created earlier, which we can see here. It's called stage access, and it's just got the service principal ID, the click key, tenant ID, and subscription ID that I'm going to connect to later. Again, you can find more detailed instructions in this setup guide here or in the documentation in Orchestra. Now I'm going to create a new app container job to actually run. So to do that, I'm going to navigate to Azure. I'm going to put app container jobs in here. And I'm going to click create. And I'm going to give it a new name, which is going to be predict weather. And then I can click review next container. And so here I can configure the image. So to do that, I'm actually going to build the image. So in Cursor, I have created my Python script, which you can see is just kind of doing weather prediction. And yeah, I'm going to build the Docker image. You can see the Docker file here. It's very simple, just like copying in the script and then like running it. So to do the build, I do Docker build. I'm on Mac, so I have to do Linux AMD 64. And I'm going to change, this is like ACA predict. This is the name of the image I'm going to build. Press enter, build that. I need to make sure I've logged into Azure with Docker. So to do that, I can do ACR login to the name of the registry or repository. Let that run. And then we can run Docker push to push the image. Back to Azure now, and we can now see here, we should have the ACA predict image, and we can select the latest tag there as well. I'll just move this out of the way. And then we can click review and create. And now we can see that I can create this container app job predict weather. So I click create. And then the final step, once it's deployment's in progress, I'll just skip ahead to when that's done. Okay, great. Now we can see that we have the predict weather container app job. And so the final step for this is to just ensure that the service principal we made can access it. So we go to access control IAM, go back to pipelines. So we can see here I've got like infer tomorrow's weather for the demo. I edit the pipeline. You can see I've already got like my load weather ACA. I've got the prepare data one as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the predict after I've done my DBT transformations to prepare the data. So I can do this by cloning the task group, and then I can draw this line here. And then if I add a new task group below, I can see this line's here. I can delete that line. And then I have this like new ACA on the other side, and I can edit this to change this to predict weather. You can see here, this one is going to be called predict weather to match our one before. And my image is ACA predict latest. And then you can see here, it's also got information about like what I need to do before. And you can see it says container app jobs operator. So I need to make sure my service principal has those permissions. Yeah, so I go back to access control, click add role assignment, and I look for the role, which is job operator, container apps job operator, select that, click next, members, select members, search for my ACA demo application, which is the application I created, which is the credentials I need. Select that, review and assign, review and assign. Great. So now my predict weather container app job can be operated on by that service principal. Go back to Orchestra. Next, save. I'm not going to publish it just yet. So now we can see my pipeline, my new predict weather task, and we can run just this task to test its functionality. So click run task group. Don't want to run downstream. There's nothing downstream. no run inputs. Of course, I could make like the city name like an input on the pipeline, but I'm not going to do that right now. Yeah. So I click run task. We can see here it's skipped these two and it's only running this task because this is the one we want to test. We can see that Orchestra successfully triggered the ACA job execution. So we'll just wait for that to complete. Obviously, this can take, as long as it takes. Great. And now we can see that that has succeeded. We can click View Details, and we can debug in Azure, which we click, and it takes us straight to the container job. And we can see in monitoring the execution history, and we can click the console there, and we can look at the logs, and we can see that it has loaded some records and predicted the temperature tomorrow is 17.6 degrees in London, which seems a bit warm, but hey-ho. Yeah, and that's how we can run and monitor Azure Container Apps in Orchestra. Thanks for watching.